What I want to do now is I want to show you how to solve IELTS reading questions. So on this same page, on this same site, let me say site now, we are going to see IELTS reading. We can also practice IELTS reading questions. Okay, we can also practice IELTS reading questions. Okay, somebody is putting a comment here. The person says, I think it's better to be practicing typing directly on computers. Yes, or phone. No, don't use phone, use computer. If you have a computer, use computer. Because on the exam day, you're not going to be using a phone to do your exam. You're going to be using a computer. So it's better to get used to the computer system if you are doing computer-based IELTS. Okay, if you are doing computer-based IELTS, it's better to practice with computer and get used to the computer. If you are doing paper-based IELTS, then you can practice with paper. How? Print out paper, print out questions on paper and practice on paper, especially for IELTS reading. Okay, it's better to practice on paper. So let's look at IELTS reading now. I'm going to go to reading test on this particular site, and I'm going to show you how to deal with gap filling questions and multiple choice questions. Okay, let me just pick something that I've not done before. All these ones I are seeing scores. They are examples of lessons I've done with people before where I just did some questions and I just didn't finish everything. Okay, so somebody says most of the links for listening no longer open. Why would they open? I don't understand. You are seeing them open here now. They will open. Maybe your network has problem. Maybe your phone network has problem. The link must open. You can see they're opening here now. So there's nothing wrong. Absolutely nothing is wrong here. So I'm just going to pick part one. Usually, the common thing is that part one questions are usually gap filling questions or true false not given questions. So I'm just clicking on part one. So let me select part one and see what part one is going to give me. I'm going to solve some questions from this particular site. Then I'll go to another site and solve questions from that site. Okay, this is matching information, gap filling. Okay, so very good. True, false, not given, and gap filling questions. Now, ladies and gentlemen, how do we deal with gap filling questions? Always start by reading the question. Okay, you identify keywords. Whenever you are dealing with gap filling questions, you start by reading it. So look at this one here. You read the question, look at it. Fallon is now studying the sleep patterns of children with dash. So what are my keywords here? Fallon, that is the name of a person. Okay, now studying, this is a verb, it's also a keyword for me. Studying the sleep patterns of children with something. So what do? I will go to my passage and go and look for this name. Fallon, I will look for studying sleep pattern, then children. So look at the passage here. I can see Fallon here. So look at the beginning of the sentence. Getting them to sleep on time is as important as getting them to school on time, says psychologist Gahan Fallon, who conducted the research at Brown Medical School. The study, okay, hold on, is now studying. Let me go back a little bit. Now studying. Okay, they've not told us whether it's now. I can't say anything like now studying in this part of the passage. Let me go to paragraph B. The study unveiled Thursday at an American Medical Association science writers meeting was conducted on healthy children who had no evidence of sleep or learning related disorders. Difficulty paying attention was among the problems the sleepy youngsters faced, raising the question of whether sleep deprivation could prove even worse for people with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD alone, or HDHD. Fallon now is studying that question. Take note of this place. Can you see that? Fallon now, can you see? Keywords. Fallon now is studying that question. Which question? We need to go back. This is the question. I think this is the question they are referring to. Difficulty paying attention was among the problems the sleepy youngsters faced, raising the question whether sleep deprivation could prove even worse for people with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, that is ADHD. Now look at it. Fallon now is studying that question and suspect that sleep problems could hit children with ADHD as a double whammy. So what is he studying here? Fallon is now studying sleep patterns of children with ADHD. That's what I believe the answer should be. Sleep patterns of children, that's what they wrote here. Children, look at it. Sleep problems could hit children with ADHD. Children with ADHD. Somebody says, can we write small letter here? Let me ask you guys this question. This thing I wrote here, is it correct? Based on what you are seeing in the passage. This thing I wrote here, who can tell me? This my answer for number 5. Is it correct? Based on what is in the passage. Is this my typing, my answer, this thing I wrote, is it correct? Who can tell me? Anybody? Let me see. Anybody who can tell me. Is this my answer correct? Small a, small h, small, what's it called? Is wrong. In this particular case, in this particular unique scenario, writing small letter ADHD is completely wrong. No, it's wrong. Why? Because it is clear that in the passage, they wrote it as capital letter. So you can't be putting your own as small letter. That one is very, very straightforward. Okay? So even if you are used to writing answers in the case that it appears in the passage, in this particular situation, remember that word, it's also in capital letter. So we must put it in capital letter. So let me change it back. ADHD. Now, next one. So this is it. If I'm seeing my answer to number 5 in paragraph B, it's likely that my answer to number 6 will be in paragraph C. We call it sequential arrangement of answers. That's the most common pattern. It's only in a few cases that you go back to paragraph A or paragraph B to look for your answer. But most likely the answer will be in paragraph C. Now let's look at it. The researchers used dash that show movements. The researchers used. That's a keyword for me. That show movement. Movement is another keyword. So let's look at the passage. Sleep experts have long warned that America of all ages do not get enough short eye. Sleep is important for health, bringing a range of benefits that, as Shakespeare puts it, knits up the reveled sleeve of care. Not getting enough sleep is linked to a host of problems, from car crashes as drivers doze off to crippled memory and inhibited creativity. Okay, let me go further. Paragraph D. They recruited 74 6 to 12-year-olds from Rhode Island and southern Massachusetts for a 3-week study. For week 1, the youngsters went to bed and woke up at their usual time. They already were fairly good sleepers, getting 9 to 9.5 hours of sleep a night. Another week, they were assigned to spend no fewer than 10 hours in bed a night. The other week, they were kept up later than usual. First and second graders were in bed no more than 8 hours, and the older children no more than 6.5 hours. In addition to parent reports, the youngsters wore motion detecting wrist monitors to ensure compliance. Hold on. Motion detecting wrist monitors. The researchers used dash that show movement. Movement. What is the paraphrase for movement? Motion. Motion. Where's motion? This thing here. Motion. So this is going to be, the researchers used wrist monitors. Wrist monitors. Wrist monitors. I think that should be the answer. That show movements to check that children went to bed at the right time. What's the meaning of to show that children went to bed at the right time? That's what? Ensure compliance. Can you see paraphrasing? These are things that you are going to come across when it comes to what? IELTS, they are going to test your ability to identify paraphrases. They will test your ability to identify paraphrases. Okay, let's go look at question 7. I hope you guys are still with me. If you are still with me, let me see your message and just type and say, yes, I am with you. Let me know who is still following me. Let me know who is still following me. I'm seeing a question here. Somebody says, can we write in full? I guess the person is trying to ADHD. No, you cannot write ADHD in full. If you want to write ADHD in full, you are going to exceed the 2-word limit. The instruction says, write no more than 2 words. So for this particular question, you cannot write in full. If you write in full, you are going to be exceeding the instruction. So it has to be ADHD. You write the symbol. All right. Now, all right. Thank you very much. I can see your response. I can see your feedback. Very good. Now, number 7, students with less sleep had problems with memory, remembering new materials, and now take note of the 3 problems. 3 problems are mentioned here. Students with less sleep had problems with what? Number 1, memory. Number 2, remembering new materials. And number 3, we need to go and figure out what number 3 is from the passage. So look at the passage. Teachers were not told how much the children slept or which week they stayed up late, but rated the students on a variety of performance measures each week. The teachers reported significantly more academic problems. Can you see that? More academic problems. Problems, memory, remembering new materials, academic. Is that the answer? Let's go on. More academic problems during the week of sleep deprivation. That's less sleep. Less sleep. The study, which will be published in the journal Sleep in December, concluded students who got 8 hours of sleep or less in a night were more forgetful. More forgetful, that's what? Problems with memory. That's more forgetful. Number 2, had the most trouble learning new lessons. Learning new lessons is a paraphrase for what? Remembering new material. Material is paraphrase for lesson. Okay? And had the most problem paying attention. Can you see that's our answer? Paying attention. That's my answer to number 7. Do you guys agree with me? Let me know if you agree with me. Do you agree with paying attention? Anybody? Let me know if you agree. Or if you think another word should be the answer. Paying attention. Thank you. That should be the correct answer. Paying attention. Paying attention. Now, number 8. Fallon admitted that it was dash for children to get enough sleep. So let's look at it. It was dash. I'm guessing the word is going to be important or maybe difficult. So where's Fallon here? I can't see Fallon in this paragraph F. I can't see Fallon in this paragraph F. Let me check the next paragraph. Paragraph G. Fallon insists that his own second grader gets 10 hours a night, even when it meant dropping soccer season that practice did not start until 7:30. Too late for her to fit in dinner and time to wind down before she needed to be snoozing. It's tough, he acknowledged, but parents must believe in the importance of sleep. Fallon admitted that this is going to be tough. It was tough. It's tough. He acknowledged. So this thing admitted that it was tough. This is going to be tough. It's going to be tough. We can't say important. Remember I said earlier on that important. It was important. But this place, they did not say important. They used importance. Importance cannot fit into this place. Look at it. Importance. Look at it. Fallon admitted that it was importance. That's bad English. Importance for children. No. The correct word should be important. But the word they used in the passage is different. Look at the word they used there. So this can be the answer. The answer is going to be tough. That's going to be the answer. So, ladies and gentlemen, you see they have solved the gap filling questions. You read the sentences closely and use keywords to track your answer. Pay attention to what? To paraphrases. Okay? And make sure that whatever you write in the gap is correctly spelled, and make sure that whatever you write in the gap fits in grammatically. Okay? Now, let's look at true false not given. Same strategy of what? Starting with the questions. Look at it. The results of the study were first distributed to principals of American schools. So American is a keyword for me here because it's a proper noun. So I'll go back to the beginning. Can you see that in solving the gap filling, I've reached the end of the passage? So to solve number 9, I need to go back to the beginning. I'm looking for American schools and principals. Paragraph A, is there anything like American in paragraph A? No, nothing like American here. American is there, but this one is American Medical Association. It's not American school. So paragraph C, American is here, but it's not talking about American schools, principals of American schools. I can see teachers here. Okay, let's go on. Paragraph D, Massachusetts. I can't see anything like American here, but Massachusetts is American. What of principal? Let's see, principal. Parents, in addition to the parents' reports, there's nothing like American here. What of the next one? Sleep in December, Fallon. Wow, there's nothing like American here. Paragraph F. This number 9, look at it. What is the meaning of not giving? If there's no information, you can see that I can't say anything about distributing something to principals of American schools. So I'm going to pick what? Not giving. We have no information on it. The passage is silent about it. Okay? Now, number 10. Some of the children in the study had previously shown signs of sleeping problems. Yes, I saw this one somewhere. Look at it there now. Sleep problems. Hold on. Some of the children in the study where this place is where they talked about the children that participated in the study. So our answer should be here because this is where they started talking about the people that came for the study. They recruited 74 6 to 12-year-olds from Rhode Island. Okay? For week 1, the youngster went to bed. They were already fairly good sleepers, getting 9 to 9.5 hours of sleep. Another week, they were assigned to spend days. They didn't tell us whether they were showing signs of sleep problems. For this particular part, if I base my answer on this paragraph D, my answer would be not given. But if I base my answer on something that they wrote here, this place here, they said that what? Brown set out to test whether teachers could detect problems with attention and learning when children stayed up late. No, this place here. This place. Raising questions on whether sleep deprivation could prove even worse for people with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder or ADHD. Fallon now is studying that question and suspect that sleep problems could eat children with ADHD. So, but yeah, they have not talked about whether the children that they use for the study, yeah, they have not talked about. I think this one is going to be not given. I don't think there's any information about the children in the study showing signs of sleeping problems. We are not sure. I'm not sure of that. Number 11, the study could influence how doctors deal with children's health problems. Okay? Doctors. Let's see doctors. Is there anything like doctors? Doctors. The study could influence how doctors deal with children's health problems. So I'm looking at this passage, this paragraph D. Is there anything like doctors here? Parents? No. What of paragraph E? Teachers were not told. Okay. The teachers reported significantly more academic problems. Okay. Students who got 8 hours of sleep were more forgetful. Okay. Paragraph F. Sleep has long been a concern of educators. Oh, educators. That sounds like principal. Remember, I was looking for principal earlier on. Educators covers teachers, principals, school owners, everything. Porter Bonds Elementary School sends notes to parents, reminding them to make sure students get enough sleep. Okay, another school considers it important enough to include the school's monthly newsletter. There's nothing like doctor here. Okay, I can see a doctor here. Dr. Regina Benjamin, who reviewed the data at the Thursday AMA meeting. I don't ask about sleep when evaluating academically struggling students. She noted, I am going to start. Hi, look at it. The study could influence how doctors do. Yes, this is true. Why? Because based on what this woman said, this woman is a doctor. If I look at what they wrote here. However, the findings may change physician practice. Can you see? What is a paraphrase for physician? Doctors. That's doctors. So this number 11 is true. It's fully supported. Fully supported. Okay? Number 12. Fallon does not let his daughter play soccer. No. Where is it? I saw soccer. Where's that soccer thing now? Um, Fallon does not let his daughter play soccer. Um, I saw that towards the end. Where's Fallon now? Soccer, yeah, this place. Fallon insists his own second grader gets 10 hours a night, even when it meant dropping soccer season. Even when it meant dropping soccer season. Fallon does not let his daughter play soccer. He lets her play now. It's only when the thing wants to interfere with sleep. So what do we pick here? This one is going to be false. There's something, the thing is complicated. That's what I will put it. He lets his daughter play soccer, but if the thing will interfere with sleep, he's going to suspend the soccer. That's what happens. So this statement number 12 is false. It's false. Then number 13, staying up later is acceptable if a child is doing homework. Homework. Is there anything like homework here? Fallon insists his own second grader, even if it meant dropping soccer. There's nothing like homework here. We are not sure. This one, we are not sure. I'm not sure of it. So I've answered the questions. What's it called? All the gap filling questions and the true false not given questions. Those are the only questions I'm trying to solve. We have matching information questions here. Okay, maybe I should just quickly solve these ones based on what I've read so far. This issue of traffic accidents, I think I saw it in paragraph B. Where's that issue of traffic? No, not paragraph B. What of paragraph A? Harder to learn, tell the difference. I saw traffic somewhere. I'm scanning through. What I'm doing here is I'm scanning, ladies and gentlemen. I call this thing scanning and skimming. Let me go back to the top. Tell the difference, school on time, psychologist, sleep pattern, they paying attention, sleep deprivation, okay. Fallon is now studying. Sleep is important to health. Okay, car crashes, look at it here. Car crashes. So paragraph C, number 1 is matched to paragraph C. That's the paragraph that contains the information about traffic accidents. Number 2, the number of children included in the study. That one is in paragraph D. 74 children. That's paragraph D. 74 children. Number 3, how two schools are trying to deal with the problem. That's in the second to the last paragraph. Porter Bonds Elementary School, that's one school. Then another school. So that's paragraph F. Can you see matching information? Then paragraph number 4, how the effect of having sleep was measured. Having less sleep. That's where they told them to wear something in their wrist. That's paragraph D, this place here. They measured the effect here. How the effect, I think it should be paragraph, is that paragraph D or paragraph E? How the effect was measured. Is it that paragraph D or paragraph E? Teachers were not told but they rated the students on a variety of performance measures. I think it's paragraph E. Paragraph E is better. It's between D and E. I'm not really. This one is very tricky, but I'm going to go for E. So I've solved everything. Let me submit and see what my score will be for this set of questions. I've solved gap filling, true false not given questions, and matching information questions. Let's see what my score will be. So here are my scores. I got all the matching information right. Can you see ADHD? Wrist monitors, paying attention, tough. So here they are telling me that number 9 and 10 should be false, false. Wow. False, false. Number 12 should be not given. Okay? So what do I do here, ladies and gentlemen? I do what we call self-correction. I want to see my answers. Why are my answers wrong? Those wrong answers that I picked, why are they wrong? So they are telling me that number 9 is false. The results of the study were first distributed. Oh, first. I didn't notice this place. Oh, first. Interesting. Let me check the passage. Number 9. This website will tell me, look at it here. The study, which will be published in the journal Sleep in December. Can you see? They did not distribute the results to the parents first. They published it straight. Can you see? This is where they picked the answer from, that it is false. They published it straight. Okay? That's self-correction I'm doing. It's very easy to do self-correction on this particular website. Very, very, because the website will tell you where they picked, it will tell you where they picked the answer from. Then number 10, some of the children in the study had previously, this one is false. Hold on, let me see. Number 10, where did they pick the answer from? Okay, look at number 10 here, paragraph B. The study unveiled Thursday at American Medical Association Science Writers Meeting was conducted on healthy children. Can you see? Conducted on healthy children who had no evidence of sleep disorder. Can you see? I did not pay attention to this place. I read it a little bit, but I did not really pay attention to that. It could be my guide to my answer. I was focusing on another place. I was focusing on this part. If you remember, I was focusing on paragraph D. So this thing here, this is my mistake. I'm going to share a voice note with you in the group. I call it 6 reasons for wrong answers in IELTS reading. One of the reasons is wrong address. Can you see that I picked my answer for number 10 based on paragraph D? I should have picked my answer based on paragraph B, based on this paragraph B here. So my answer was based on the wrong address. Can you see one of the mistakes people make in IELTS reading? And I'm happy that this thing is showing up now, because sometimes I like to do fresh things so that people will see that these are mistakes people make during exams. You understand? And these are things you need to be on the lookout for. Then number 12, Fallon does not let his daughter play soccer. They said number 12 is not given. Okay, well, that one, the address is correct, but it's the interpretation. Look at it. Fallon insists that his own second grader gets 10 hours a night, even when it's meant dropping soccer. Okay? Even when it meant, so based on this sentence, they are saying that the answer should be not given. Fallon does not let. We don't know whether he let or he does not let. The passage is, there's no information sufficient to support or contradict that. So they are saying that the answer to number 12 should be what? Look at the number 12 here. They are saying that it should be not given. So basically, what I've done is just to show you and guide you through the process of solving gap filling questions and multiple choice and and true false not given questions. And you see the way I've done correction, self-correction for the questions that I got wrong. These are things that you practice doing, okay? So that you get used to the different question types. So what you do now is to practice with what? Lots of gap filling questions. So what is my point? Let me take that again. What is your duty now? Okay. Your duty is to practice with lots of gap filling questions and lots of what? True, false, not given questions, so that you can master those two question types. I'm going to treat the other question types another day. Okay? I've even done matching information now, but I will still do it again during another class. So the more you practice these different question types, the better you get. Okay? The better you get. And after every practice, make sure you go through the questions that you got wrong and do self-correction so that you can learn from your mistakes. That's how you improve. That's how you improve. Okay? As part of this training, your job will be to solve a total of 100 links. I'm going to be sharing links to 100 reading exercises, 100 of them. I'll be sharing the links with you every day, every day. Some days you will do 2 links, some days you will do 3 links. So get ready to participate fully, okay? So that you can understand this. As for all those links, for the majority of those links, you are going to be able to watch the recording of my explanation of those lessons. You understand? So it's something that will help you. So get ready to put in the effort so that you can really, really master this thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap it up on that note. I don't know, does anybody have any question? Let me take 1 or 2 questions before we round up. Any question? Does anybody have any question before we round up? Any question? If you have any question, just drop your question in the Zoom chat. Let me see if I can take 1 or 2 questions. Any question? Okay. Seems there are no questions. So if you have any question, you can drop it in the Zoom, in the WhatsApp group. I'm going to take it. I'm going to attend to it as soon as I can. If you have any question, I'm going to attend to it as soon as I can. All right. So thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening.